Hey everybody. So the Habs are playing the Flames tonight in Calgary. It's the second game of their seven-game road trip. They're on a three-game West Coast swing. They come into Winnipeg. They take a little break for the Christmas season, and then they have three more road games in the South, I believe, and they come home. So it's the second game. They beat Vancouver the last game 3-1. It was a weird game where the refs kind of got in the way, but in the end it didn't affect the results of the game, which was good, although it looked like it was going to. Montreal's record right now is 16-12 and 6. I wrote 16. I don't know why. It's 16-12 and 6. Third in the Atlantic, hanging on by a thread. There is 2 points separating second, I think, right through seventh. Just 2 points. Montreal has 38. Buffalo has 39 in second, and then all the way down to seventh, it's like 37 points. So it's really tight race in the Atlantic, and it's like almost anybody's game. Just have a good streak, and you're gonna solidify your spot there. So hopefully Montreal will do that. They are on the road, so they are 8-4-3 on the road, which is a pretty decent record. Against the West, this is what's pretty good, is they're 7-4-0 against the West, so they're definitely playing well against Western teams. Calgary is a Western team. They've scored 108 goals for and 108 goals against they've had, and their last 10 they are 5-4-1. And just take into account, I believe either 3 or 4 of those losses are still from that losing streak that we had. Calgary, on the other hand, is 18-14-4. They're fourth in the Pacific, so you can see they have a better record than Montreal, and yet they are fourth in the Pacific, so it's a little harder everywhere else. My Atlantic division is a little bit easier to, or should I say it's the worst division in the league? I guess that's what I'm looking at. At home, Calgary is 10-5-2. Against the East, they are 10-5-1, so pretty consistent there. So again, Calgary's playing good against the Eastern teams, and Montreal's playing good against the Western teams. We're looking at a probably good, tight hockey game. They have scored 96 goals, and they have given up 108, just like Montreal. So Montreal's scoring a little bit better than them, but they're giving up basically the same amount of goals, right? So like I said, Calgary is 7-2-1 in their last 10. They've lost their last 2 and struggled to score goals in their last 2. Let's look at some of their stats. Corsi 4 percentage. Montreal has 53.7% on the Corsi 4, which is second in the league, which means they control the puck a lot. And they're in the offensive zone a lot. Calgary is 50.9%, which is 10th in the league, and so it's a little bit of an edge there for Montreal. Goals for per game, Montreal is scoring 3.12, good for 11th in the league. Calgary is scoring 2.58, and that's 26th in the league, so that's a decent edge there for Montreal. Goals against per game, Montreal at 3.15 for 22nd in the league, 3.10 for 15th in the league for Calgary. It's a slight edge maybe to Calgary, but not that much. As you can see, they both had 108 goals scored against them, so it's not much of an edge, but it's just a slight difference. Power play percentage, 21.7% for Montreal. That's good for 10th. And 17.2% for Calgary for 21st, so it's another slight edge there for Montreal. 17.2 is not great, but it's decent. Montreal at 21.7 is good. So it's an edge there. Penalty kill for Montreal, 75.9%. Basically stayed the same because they had one power play goal on 4 chances scored against them. So they're 76% came out as that touch. So that's 27th in the league. Calgary is at 84.1% for 7th in the league. So basically, it'll be to score a power play goal is going to be a little harder against Calgary. It's decent. That's a pretty good penalty kill. But Montreal's penalty kill has been good of late. If they can play on the penalty kill the way they did it, especially in that last game, there were 3 penalty kills that were really awesome. So if they can keep that up, the penalty kill numbers will come up. Face-off percentage, Montreal's at 50.2, so they finally crossed that 50%. So they're winning a little bit more than they're losing. Overall, 17 in the league. And Calgary's at 48.7 and 24th in the league. So another little edge there. Winning face-offs is very important, especially in the offensive and defensive zones. Leading scorers for Montreal, Tatar, 13 goals, 17 assists, 30 points, -2. Shea Weber, 11 goals, 17 assists, 28 points, plus 11. Brendan Gallagher, 14 goals, 13 assists, so his 14 goals still leading the team. 27 points and a plus 6. Price is going to be in the nets tonight, barring some kind of, I don't know, something could happen in practice or whatever. That's the only reason Price wouldn't be in nets. Or he comes down with some kind of sickness. Anyways, he's 14, 10, and 3 with a 285 goals against average and a 908 save percentage. So those numbers, one coming down, one going up slowly, but it's happening, and one shutout. On the other side, Sean Monahan, 10 goals, 18 assists, 28 points, minus 12. Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey, 10 goals, 17 assists, 27 points, minus 8. Keith Tkachuk, it's funny, I wrote Tkachuk. Maybe I thought it was ketchup. Keith Tkachuk, 12 goals, 15 assists, 27 points, minus 6. So now you notice Calgary, all their top guys are in the minuses. Now, some people don't take much for plus minus, but it does mean a little bit of something, right? On the Canadian side, 2 out of the 3 are in pluses and pretty decent pluses. So that could be an edge there for Montreal. In goal, I didn't hear officially, but I'm expecting Riddick. And he's 15, 8, and 4 with a 2.73 goals against and a 9.14 save percentage with 2 shutouts. So a little bit better numbers than Carey Price, but that doesn't mean that right at this moment that he's playing better than Price, because Price is playing awesome. I screwed up a stat last video where I said he gave up 4 goals in 5 games. It's kind of flipped. 5 goals in his last 4 games. That's all he's given up. So his goals against in the last 5 games is just over 1, and that's damn good. And his save percentage is pretty high because he had 38 saves out of 39 shots last game. The numbers are going to be there. So it's coming up. He's playing right now, and he's at the top of his game. Okay, keys to victory. How they're going to win this game. They got to keep those top 3 scorers, Monahan, Gaudreau, and Tkachuk. They got to keep them off the scoreboard. I don't know, honestly, because we don't play them a lot, if Matt Tkachuk is the same kind of Habs killer as his brother Brady, but it could be, and if that's the case, we want to definitely keep him in check and keep him off the board. They got to keep the shots down. In the last game, 39 shots, a little bit much. You want to lower that. You don't want to really go over 30 against. You want it to be in the 20s. So keep the shots down. Keep them away from the middle of the ice in the defensive zone. You want to keep them away from the middle where they get the highest quality shots. And, and they've been doing a good job about that. And also, at the same time, and I didn't write it, but keep the odd man rushes. They got to eliminate them. They almost eliminated them completely. We haven't seen a return to that. I think it was like 11 against that in New Jersey. Was that home? To New Jersey. And they've pretty much eliminated them. There's 1 or 2. When 1 or 2 are acceptable, it's going to happen sometimes, right? So they got to keep that to the minimum. And like I said, they've been doing a good job about that. And they have to attack more through the center of the ice. They were doing that against Vancouver. Nick Suzuki, I know, was trying to do that. He didn't get any points. But they've got to get to the net and attack from the center of the ice. As I was just saying, center of the ice in the offensive zone is where the best chances come from. That's where you score your goals. That's where Gallagher gets them. So they got to do a little bit better at that. They're playing a bigger team, and they've got to be aggressive and keep them off balance by using their speed and moving their feet all the time, keeping moving and pushing forward, no gliding around. They got to do that to keep these guys off balance, and they can get in tight and in close for the chances. They've got to control. They got to control the inside and be aggressive. That's what I was saying. I don't know that here. I'm reading it again. No, sorry. Price has to be solid under pressure, which I'm confident he is going to be. So he's got to be confident. He's got to be solid under pressure. He has been. He's been great the last 4, 5, 6 games. So I don't expect that to change here. They got to play a full 60 minutes, as I say every game. They've got to play a full 60 minutes. This team cannot take 1 minute off in a game. They've got to go full speed all the time. Secondary scoring is needed. We need more from that third line. Suzuki's going to have to start producing some points along with Cousins, and I hope I'd like to see Vadimo. I didn't see any lineup I have no idea if Vadim was in, but I don't know if Cousins and Wheel are the best options for Nick Suzuki. So, and we know my thoughts on it. I'd like to see Suzuki be put into the second line center, but I also don't think that'll happen now until KK returns. And I haven't heard. I was on Twitter before, and I'm looking around. And I haven't seen anything about KK coming back tonight. So, and I don't know about Mete either. I kind of hope Mete will be back soon. Okay, they got to work hard as they always do. Give that second effort. That goal there, he was pushed and tripped. And on the way down, he swung the puck out to forget who got the goal. That second effort, that's the kind of stuff they got to keep doing. They got to work hard and do that all the time. That's how they win. And I wrote next to it, it wins games, and it does. It wins games. That's how the Habs of the 70s, why were they so great? Because they worked hard and they gave second effort all the time. If you watch the games now, the old games, they look so slow and everything. And I get it. Doesn't look like it was quality. But back in the day, that was the quality of the game. I mean, game's much faster and more skilled today. So you can't look from today and look back and go, oh, that's quality. But the thing is, they gave their all, and they always gave second effort. When they were winning, that's what was the key. That's the key here for Montreal. They need to work hard and give that second effort. I can't say it enough. Before I give my predictions for the game, I'm just going to remind you, I'm live streaming the game at 9 o'clock. I should have said this earlier. So I'm live streaming the game at 9. It's at 9 o'clock. Don't forget. Not the whole game, just the first period. Like normal, I do it for every game. Also, I'd love to know what you guys think the score will be. So before I give you my score, just want to ask you guys to leave in the comment section whatever you think the score will be, and who you think is going to get the first goal. And I just realized in saying that I didn't even do my normal intro in the video, and the video's going pretty good. So don't know why I have to say that now. But so leave me whatever you think the score will be. Yeah, get your words out, Rick. And who you think the Montreal scorer will be for the first goal. So I'm going to give you mine right now. So my prediction for the game, and it's going to be the same score I gave for last game, because I think these games are going to be tight all the way through the rest of the season, and just the way the Montreal's playing. And I think the scores are always going to be tight, and we're going to be in the third period on the edge of our seats waiting almost every game. There'll be some games where they blow it apart. It happens. They're going to be blown out themselves a couple times. It happens. But that's how I think in general it's going to go. So my prediction is 3-2 for Montreal. I think Calgary is in a vulnerable position, having lost the last two games and struggling to score. And even when they do score, they're only averaging 2.5 goals a game. That's not a ton. Montreal can score more than that. So I'm going to give them the 2 goals on Calgary side, 3 for Montreal. Hopefully it won't go to overtime. My first goal scorer for Montreal is going to be Arturi Lehkonen this time. Arturi Lehkonen, he's due for a goal. He's due because he's kind of streaky. That's the word I'm looking for. Kind of streaky when he scores, and I think he's due for a goal. I think he's going to get the goal. And so let me know what you guys think about who you think is going to get the goal. Mine is Arturi Lehkonen. Okay, so that's the video. If you like to give it a thumbs up, check out a couple videos I'm going to put up here. Hopefully you'll like them and give them a watch. And I will see you at the live stream. If you like what you see, subscribe, ring the notifications bell. You'll get all my videos. And go Habs, go! And bye, y'all.